fathers. I just said this butter. I just rather bought the butters more uppers, no downers. Mama, it's 24. I'm 24. 24 was 24 hours. If it's just your money for hours, trade your money for dollars. Then you see the lie. Struggling on the path. I think I see him fried. I'm just gonna think when I see my pride. Right? There we go. Peace to the family, peace to you and yours. Welcome back to the of Third Eye Thursdays, featuring your brother Red Pill. That song that you just heard is 24 Hours off of the LSD album Cambada. Please, if you haven't heard that, do yourself a favor. Go and get your upgrade. Go and stream that as soon as you finish listening to this episode. The whole album is fire. But that song right there, I feel like that might be the hottest song on the album. I know I'm biased because I was on a banger. But yeah. All right. No sound. Can you hear me? Let me see some audio. Check. Check, 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 check. Can you hear now? Okay. Excellent, excellent. All right, all right. How's the family doing? Let me do the roll call before we get into the show. Let's get it in. All right. Where's the family from? Who's in the building? Raleigh is in the building. VA is in the building. Maryland is in the building. The DMV is in the house. Memphis is in the building. Shout out to Memphis. VA is in the building. Tucson, Nashville, Rough is in the building. Trinidad and Tobago and Team. Oakland, Town Business. C. VA in the building. Houston's in the building. Riverside is in the building. All right. All right, we have St. Croix. All right, shout out to St. Croix, Mystic Philly in the building. Vegas, Seattle, degrees, Wisconsin in the building. Texas in the building. South side of Houston. Throw them H's up. T Dot in the building. ATL South side in the building. Texas A&M. White Plains 215. You know, VA in the building. East New York. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. What up, Bashira? Oh, November 14th, Scorpion. VA, stand up. You're okay. You already know. You gotta salute the people who share your birthday. That's gang gang. How's everybody doing tonight? South Carolina's in the building. Minnesota's in the building. Seattle's in the building. Minnesota, BX is in the building. NYC in the building. Lost County, VA. I see y'all. All right. Pensacola, Minnesota. It's cold in Minnesota. Tennessee in the building. And then we have San Antonio, Texas. So we basically, yeah, the family is deep tonight, you know, from everywhere around the world. We have global representation all the way back to the 718. Kareem was really good. You know what I mean? So everything comes full circle. Just like the song on Nas's album, right? Called Full Circle. I would say we should go listen to Nas's album, but they took down one of the videos last week because of because of copyright, right? So because of copyright, they took it down. So, you know, I'm not even gonna play myself and play anything this copyright because they won't even let the video stay up. 413 Springfield, Massachusetts. Dude said, I think this is pre-recorded. You think this show is pre-recorded? Okay. How's the family doing? I know this is a late one. There was a lot of quality shows on tonight. We had Urban X. They had a show with Brother Obar. And then Brother Rich had a show with Blue Pill, Billy Carson, and Dr. Phil Valentine. And that information right there, I was receiving all of that. You know what I mean? I said, let them get their information out because I'm in class. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So here we are. Gary in the building. Yeah, Black Magic Matters. Who was in the building? Who heard that? Who was there for the show with Black Magic 363? If y'all was there, put a fire emoji in the chat. You know what I mean? Blue was on fire. Billy Carson, he was dropping gems. He was on fire. Phil came in there on super fire. Shout out to King Simon. Yeah, he was in the building. Indeed. There they go. Y'all gotta excuse me because the computer has like a slow response. So everything that y'all put in the chat is like 10 seconds late. Yeah, they was in the building. So and go over to Brother Rich's channel and check that out when we get off of this show. You know what I mean? Yeah. Brother said Lakers, long live Kobe. Um, they have Kobe Day coming up, 8/24, right? 8/24, officially known as Kobe Day. So I highly suggest that you get your purple and your yellow or your purple and your gold. Uh, get into some Black Mamba, I don't know, tap into your inner Black Mamba, or you could tap into the information that Kobe has out there, whether it's motivational stuff, whether it's his sport reels, whether it's his music. Remember, Kobe was a rapper. Whether it's the movies or the shows that he was in, wherever it is, I highly suggest, in respect to that spirit and in respect to that divine number, like King Simon to tell you about the power of the numbers, the fact that they have officially took a day out of the calendar, right? And they're observing it, right? And right? That's telling you something about who he is. You know what I'm talking about? Because this could be something that's a national holiday in 4 years, 20 years, you know. And 8/24 is Dave Chappelle's birthday as well. So, what's fucking with that? And we get to see that in his lifetime, right? A king out of LA, one of the three kings that were ascended, right? I won't necessarily, well, they were sacrificed in a sense because we know for sure that two out of the three, and then one would say there was foul play involved with the situation with Kobe Bryant, especially going later on down the line, seeing how things have been unfolding. Like there's information to kind of have you say, wait a minute, wait, what? The helicopter company, they said what? So new information has started to come out. But these three kings ascended within a certain period. And the three kings that I speak so highly of is Nipsey Hussle, right? Or Mayash Ashtigan. He's the one who set it off. His coronation at the Staples Center, his bringing together of the two gangs, when he let go of his ghost, of his spirit, there was a shift. I'm talking about there was a shift in consciousness. Who's known, he's a gangster rapper. It wasn't like he was a motivational rapper in a sense. He was considered, like, if he was in Thai records, he'd be in a gangster rapper aisle and niggas wouldn't have a problem with that. He's a rider. And somehow his assassination made people join book clubs and start learning. I mean, a few niggas turned to the Crips and just, his philanthropy, his contribution to consciousness or wokeness, um, what he stood for on the balanced side of what they knew he stood for. Because once we know what you stand for, that's cool. But what else do you stand for? What's your balance? Like, what's your growth? Where's your development? How can we measure you? You came out gang banging at 13, and at 33, you're the biggest gang banger. Like, you know what I mean? There has to be some type of development. So he started that development phase of shedding his former self, of evolving, of putting things in a perspective where, the things that he was speaking of, like being independent, like owning your masters, like being your own boss, like being tapped into your passion, and doing what? To value, adding cost and value. That's the passion economy. Saying that my project is worth $100, uh, proud to pay. That's a formula. What are you talking about? That's an algorithm. People may take it these days and do what they and call it what they want to call it, but he kind of wrote that code in the game, and that code is working for people right now because y'all want to talk about self love and self worth. Nigga, there's nothing more self-loving to say you're gonna pay me $1,000 an hour and you get that because people see your worth. You're able to demand your worth. You're able to state what it is that you're worth. And I always, I'm not gonna hate bringing anything up. I bring it up because of its cultural reference standpoint, and I bring it up because the shit is funny as hell. But on OnlyFans, people on OnlyFans have the option, right? They have the option to do what? To put a cost, right? Because the value is agreed upon. They're putting a value to say, yo, to be behind my paywall, this is how much it's gonna cost because this is how much I'm putting the value of who I am. I'm dictating my value. And people are like, I'm with it and I agree. And here's your money, right? So there wasn't, times for granted. You couldn't necessarily do that all the time, right? There wasn't venues, there weren't marketplaces set up to where you could create a value out of what is it that you do. Because like I said, everything on OnlyFans is not adult content. You have to be creative. You know what I mean? Don't let me do it, but expand your consciousness. You know what I'm saying? You have to be able to create opportunities where people may not even see them. You have to be able to take something that's being done and become an alchemist. Oh, you niggas wearing your namaste tattoos and whatnot. Where's your alchemy at? What are you taking? What base metal are you taking and turning into gold in front of the people? You know what I'm talking about? I see niggas polish off a few dots and turn them into goddesses, but I'm talking about going deeper than that. The real philosophy. You know, certain people like Nipsey was able to take something base like gang culture in its rawest forms, and he was applying a level of alchemy to this shit. He was telling his fly crips and other people out there that are active, that are about that life, how to manage their money and do certain things on some boss moves, buying property. Imagine if he told somebody to tap into crypto in 2012 and they really had it like that. You know what I'm talking about? They had a little 30 racks that they could just say, I'm gonna just go ahead and buy 30 racks of bitcoins in 2012 while I'm listening to, neighborhood talk about Bitcoin or whatever. There's people who listen to us when we brought up the Bitcoins. This was in about what shows did we start doing with D Miller, and if I think it was around 2013 or something. You know, it's really started going in on it, and there's people who were listening to the shows and are sitting on millions right now just off of the shows, just off of being able to, take the information gotta apply it. You know what I'm talking about? If you don't apply it, yeah, it's gonna be like, what is he talking about? You know, you're not gonna understand a goddamn thing because you might be looking for something different than what, you know, was being given to you. You know what I mean? You getting some game that you would have to pay thousands of dollars for on any other occasion. Because if you take this game and you use this game, you know what I mean? You're gonna tap in. You're gonna be a stream chaser. You're gonna start drinking from wells that you probably didn't even know existed. You're gonna start striking oil, gold, water, tapping into the energy that's in the air, my nigga. You know what I'm talking about? So it's, you know. So the three kings that were ascended during the time span of a year from the time that Nipsey Hussle made transition, right around the time of the Easter, right, of that year, the day before April Fool's Day, right? His spirit ascended, and we started to see what is known as cultural reset, right? There was a shift that took place, and that seismic shift has been shifting ever since, right? This shift was felt from the bottom up, meaning it was felt from the gutter up. You know what I'm talking about? Because the bottom or the Malkuf in our society, beloved, is the trenches. That's the Malkuf. That's the bottom of the shit. That's the root. That's the root. You know what I'm talking about? That's the root chakra. Is that Baba in the building? What up? What up, Baba TV every time? Brrr. Yeah, fire. So that's the root chakra. And the Kundalini or the fire has to rise up from the base, which is the root, right? Which is the bottom of the map. Young Jeezy, bottom of the map. That's why I tell people you'll never be able to change the energy of what the fuck is going on in Miami and the dirty South. That's the root. What are you talking about? You have to cultivate it. You have to go in there like an alchemist. And I'm not talking about the nigga that make beats either. You got to go in there like an alchemist. Have to know what you're doing because you could get turned and churned in that fire that's in the bottom. You know what I'm talking about? So, you know, we you know, we know the music that comes out of the bottom. We know the music that comes out of the Florida regions, whether it's South Florida, Dade County, the booty shaking music, the music that they Tootsie Roll to, the music that's coming out of the Dirty South, out of, zone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Root, heavy in the bass, right? Heavy bass chakra, right? Bass music, right? Booty shaking music, bass music, booty shake. With the bass, the booty is the root, it's the root, it's the base, right? It's the trunk. Talk black to me. It's the trunk. Junk in the trunk, right? Some of the trunks got junk in it, some of them don't. You know what I'm talking about? They call that Nassau where I'm from, or Nassau. No ass at all. So, you know, uh salute. So in Miami, there's bass music, there's two live crew, there's Trina and Trick, there's Flo Rida, there's Pitbull, there's Ricky Rose, and all of them deal. And then when Lil Wayne plugged into the root energy, because he had a different energy in Louisiana, because he's on a different grid, so he's gonna rap and he's gonna write and he's gonna flow differently. But when he got over there to Miami, he turns into a different artist because it's a different grid and it's the root. So he turns into the sex demon. He turns into Lil Wayne, who became niggas sex education teacher, right? For the better part of their lives. Plies. Oh, let me not forget the good brother Plies. Oh, let me not forget Kia. My neck, my back, my wop, and my whopper, right? That part. The first one that had y'all grocery shopping. I'm talking about. How's my audio? So the bottom of the map, I can't make this up, right? T-Pain. You know what I'm talking about? T-Pain. T-Pain, right? He perfected I'm in love with a stripper, bartender. He was a lot of the music was bass orientated, right? Not to say I'm not taking anything away from anything. All I'm doing is I'm not taking anything away from anything. I'm just showing you the receipts of the energy, the frequency. Nobody is judging any of your favorite artists. You will not have to purge your playlist because I'm bringing them up. I'm just using that disclaimer. So all of these artists, Trick Daddy and Trina, Luke, Pitbull, right? Flow Rider, Ricky Rose, when all of them deal with the women, when all of them tap into the opposite sex and a base type of bottom red chakra energy, this is when they pop, right? Pretty Ricky. This is when they pop. Yeah, they talk about dudes and everything too, killing niggas or whatever, but it's the gal music. It's that root shit. It's about popping, you know, shaking that ass, popping that punani. I don't want to be graphic. You know what I'm talking about? And even selling that wop, right? For some guap, right? Black to me, that part. Selling that wop for some guap, right? That's what they promote. You know what I'm talking about? Like it's the subways out there. Father Rich is in the building. Shout out to Father Rich in the building. So Atlanta, right? Which isn't it's above the root chakra. It's not root chakra, right? I would say that the Miami, Florida would be that Miami, especially because if you look on a map, it's at the bottom. It's really the bottom of the map. So that's the most root. You know what I'm talking about? And then the sexual energy, it shows you that it's root chakra shit. Like you could step off the plane. I'm talking about on the plane, on the way off the plane. You could get some connection with something in the park. I mean, it's crazy out there. It just, it's a very sensuous, uh, pheromone heavy energy. I guess it's the flora, but the serpentine energy is strong in Miami. No, I'm talking. Oh, the swamps. Yeah, yeah, that swamp. That swamp wop. That swamp wop. That wop was that wop from the swamp. Something else, man. You know what I'm talking about? That alligator snapper. Something else, God. You know. So Atlanta, right, is dealing with, I guess, a little bit above the root, and they're giving you the doff. They're giving you a little bit more. They're giving you the drugs. I mean, everything. All of them is giving you underworld energy, dark energy, sexual, money, hoes, clothes, sex, money, murder. You know what I'm talking about? And then they give it these names like trap rap and bando rap or whatever these new titles that they come up with. You know, but it's the same type of, it's the same thing. It's just given new frequencies or new, you know what I mean? It's subgenres of a main genre. It's subgenres of a main genre, you know? So in Atlanta, the way that they tapped into the energy, right? And I could get a little bit further back, like into some Civil War shit, but I'm not gonna go there. I'm just gonna talk about the Atlanta child murders. You know, the recent sexual ritual that was done on that grid that we call Georgia or Atlanta for that matter. You know what I mean? That sacred land, that red clay, right? The children, the jits, the babies, the young black boys went through a season of being hunted down and ritualistically murdered, right? By like Luciferians, you know, I would say the same type of occultists that were doing the same type of rituals in their grandparents' generation and in their parents' generation and in their great grandparents' generation. They would be able to pull those stories up about Europeans who were into the Herculean, right? Hercules, right? You know Hercules from Greece. So the Herculean rituals going all the way back into Greece, right? With his name is on the top of my head. The brother Ross Ben just dropped a video on his page. Make sure y'all go and check that out. It's an hour long, and he's getting very, very deep into the what you call it. He's going in and he's speaking about the Hercules rituals. You know, these pedophilia rings in government and in other places, what it's, you know, what's the origins. He's giving you the DNA of it. He's giving you the framework, because there's actually framework. These are actual things that these societies and these individuals are geared, reared, groomed, and, you know, put in certain places to carry on what it is that they're carrying on. And it's bigger than I think what a lot of people are giving it credit to be. Like it's just some random people with a perverse appetite. You know, it's bigger than that. You know, we're dealing with cannibals. We're dealing with cannibals. We're dealing with some a level of Satanists, of a group of people who are completely heartless, emotionless. You know, I mean, you wouldn't believe it. You know, you wouldn't believe it. So these Greco-Romans, the things that they do should not surprise you. You know, these were the people who their books that people that civilizations before us wrote about their forefathers and their activities and their practices. And instead of, you know, on an unbiased level, to learn everyone that's around you before you start talking about equality and who's equal and who you want to be equal with, like Cardi B was talking to Joe Biden about. She was asking for equality. Well, before you start speaking about equality, shoot, you would have to really biologically prove that that there's an equal, that there's such a thing as equality, because Biologically, there's not. So that's a social agreement, right? And at the end of the day, we are not moving into the realms of social agreements anymore. We're actually moving outside of that, and we're tapping into pure science. Pure science. If it is, it is. If it ain't, it ain't. You know, they never stopped the savagery, right? Who made them? It, in order to stop something, somebody has to make you do it. Who made them? Like, who made them stop doing any of that? Ever since they've been creating these governments and running through continent after continent after continent, pillaging it, replenishing, going somewhere else and pillaging it. And then when that place replenishes, coming back to pillage it, putting their chemicals in it, putting their products in it, putting their vices in it, putting their malware in it, infecting whatever system that opens up and allows for this egregor, I will call it, this isfact, this spirit, you know, uh, or these people who basically are under the spell or under the control of these spirits. Whenever you let them into certain situations only change for the worse. And that's a fact. you know so there's a lot of things to be mindful of. What I'm saying? There's a lot of things to be mindful of. Obviously there's a you know there's an agenda, I would say. There's an agenda in the media, which could be identified as a democratic led, liberal led. And when they say liberal, let me explain what liberal means for people who don't understand what liberal is. Liberal is a politically correct way of identifying a group of people who look white and are not white. Do you know who I'm talking about, right? That's what the liberal, when they say liberal, that's because they can't say the Jews. So they say the liberal. That's a nice way of saying the Yahudis. That's just, when I hear liberal, that's what I'm listening to. Oh, the Weinsteins and the Hart and the Steens and the Bergs and the, you know. And then when they hook it into LBGT, they always marry the liberal with the LBGT because, you know, they're heavily included in a upper hierarchy of that movement, along with these Herculean or Hercules type of practitioners of these rights, right? Some of the men in history, in American history, that is, Western history, is Benjamin Franklin, George Washington, of course. You know, uh, there are monuments that have been erected and whatnot, and they are basically in alignment with these Masonic poses and these Hercules poses and whatnot. And there's all kind of stuff out there. They give you, the information, and a lot of that has to deal with dealing with little boys, pedophilia. They had manservants. There's a famous slave. I believe his name was Willie, who was George Washington's personal, right? He was basically his weed carrier of those days, right? But he was also his boy toy, you know. Um, so they're playing with words, you know. They're playing with words. They're playing with a lot of semantics and whatnot, and they're being extremely disingenuous in the media. They're spinning people in a complete circle. They've aligned themselves with the rap industry, and they're rolling out their new candidates, their new Beyoncé's and Jay-Z's of the 2020s. And it's been blatantly made clear that Cardi B has been chosen to be the quote unquote mouthpiece of Black Americans, because the agenda of this diverse party and the Democrat agenda of confusion, of chaos, of Hegelian and whatnot, the way that they play off their two-party system and in a very slick theater slash reality show type of way, where you're like, oh, Nancy Pelosi is against this person and she hates this guy, and Aunt Maxine, she stays on Trump's back. And it's like, okay, yeah, that shit is a good episode of whatever you saw on CNN. You know what I'm talking about? But behind closed doors, somewhere in DC, you know what I'm saying, where Marion Barry and them used to be at, everybody's getting up and on the hookah, and they're laughing, you know, and they got the media execs in there, and they got big tech in there, and dudes from Wall Street getting stock tips, and everybody is you know making their trillions of dollars, like how Apple just cleared. They're at 2 trillions. How about that? 2 trillions, right? The phone costs a rackington. You know what I'm saying? A whole bunch of people is buying phones for a rack. That should add up. They got 2 trillion, and Negroes don't got stocks yet. You know what I'm saying? This nigga, they don't got no Apple stocks. They don't got no Apple stocks. They got Apple Jacks, but they don't got Apple stocks. Let's be clear. So out of these games, the liberals, the left. What the hell is the left? The Democrats. And it's always bounced off of what the Republicans are doing or not doing. So you can't hold either party accountable, because all they have to do is point fingers. You know, it's set up the same way. Like I said, this is a binary planet. This planet deals with dualistic energy, protagonist, antagonist, right? That's just what this is. This is protagonist and antagonist. You know, this you need to have a protagonist. This whole society, especially this Western society, the way that it's modeled after Roman society with the theater. You know, it's like an opera. The Senate, the court, the emperor. And all of these other things. This is just Roman theater at the end of the day. You know, it's just Roman theater. And now we have the inclusion of celebrity. Oh my goodness. You know what I'm talking about? The celebrity culture, like the jesters and the troubadours of those days, they are here to provide the big distraction. Okay. They're here. They're the opiates of man. The athletes, the entertainers, like the rappers of today, uh, the actors, you know, who jump at the opportunity of the same people that I'm speaking of with the small hats, right? They call them in their office and they sit them on their casting couch and they dangle carrots in front of them. Or in some days, some of the exchange go a little bit like this. Listen, Negro or nigger, right? Because they like to use that word. Listen, nigger, you're going to do this movie, right? Or you won't get work in this town. This is what they tell Negroes, right? And what do Negroes do? They do the movie. You know what I'm talking about? They do the movie. Or not only do they do the movie, they'll do whatever these people tell them to do. So they could say, yo, cause a distraction. Or I want you to be the face of this, or take a knee. Not saying that that's what happened, but the way that I see these owners and the way that I see these masters work these Negroes in these fields, man, I don't put nothing past nobody. You know what I'm talking about? And if rumor has it, right, that the tapes and the shit that they say that they got on some of these people is true, oh man, they don't play a fair game. They was out here Jeff Epstein, a lot of these rappers and whatnot. They was put lining them up like Jeff Epstein was lining all his tricks up. They got a lot of tape on these Negroes. They got a lot of blackmail. Somebody said that Nas is fire. Brr, I hope it is. I need some motivation. I didn't watch Lovecraft. I keep hearing about it. So let's see what's going on with the whole aspect of what I'm talking about, where they're reaching out to celebrities to be the voice of a people who last month went too long ago. How soon we forget. Last month we were in dire straits, right? We were in dire straits. You feel me? We were in need of some kind of help. We were in need of some type of divine intervention. Our people's back was against the ropes. There was almost an insurrection. There was an insurrection taking place, and the threat of some type of rioting and violence. Oh, it was very high, extremely high. So to do an interview with Cardi B and Joe Biden, slow Biden, it doesn't really make sense. Like, I don't understand. Like, how does she get to interview a presidential candidate, right? When it's a crucial time. It's a crucial time. This is not some time that you could just have an interview and y'all shooting the shit just for the purposes of a press run or a press junket. No, my nigga. This is countdown. So, out of all of the women that consider themselves to be black or the blacks or even Latina, we get ourselves with Cardi, who was a big Bernie Sanders fan, by the way, right? So when little girls say, no, mommy, the WAP is women empowerment, this is about us rising up because we have wet ass Punani, right? And they wake up and they see the presidential candidate, right, for a party that they know nothing of, but they're being told by their parents, this gonna be the party that's gonna save us, baby. So when they see the girl who was just in the house getting tied up and whatnot and being basically Trey Songed, right? Because I'm confused. Trey Songs is getting canceled for being a freak and being a perv and being wild aggressive, right? But WAP is number one because they're telling men to be wild aggressive and be a perv, spit on them, spit in their throats, choke them out, do them dirty. I'm talking about the lyrics are not talking about I want you to rub me down and smack on my booty. No, they're giving niggas drilling instructions on, you know, on where to hit, where to place the jackhammer. So Trey Songz is out here giving golden showers. Hold on, we'll get to him in a minute. Cardi B says, I feel like black people, we're not asking for sympathy. She's letting him know. I feel like us black people, we're not asking for sympathy. Cardi B tells presumptive Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden, we're not asking for charity. We're just asking for equality. It's simple. We want to feel like Americans, right? So imagine if Little Kim had interviewed Bill, who was the president around the time when Little Kim was popping? Little Kim is 94. Yeah, imagine if she was interviewing Bill Clinton. We're talking about early Little Kim. Little Kim by the elevator, I mean by the escalator with Puff Daddy doing a dance with the rabbit teeth. Her. Imagine she's like doing a Elle or Ebony magazine interview. We already know who Little Kim is about because of her lyrics and the shit that she says. This is what I'm repping. And then we see her interviewing, even if she was interviewing Jesse Jackson, my nigga. Like, what? What are you doing? Are you serious? Like, there wasn't nobody else that could have answered the email? We need answers from Slow Joe. We need to find out what's going on with my guy who likes to be in gay bathhouses. So to see how far in in Kali Yuga we are, or to see how far down in the base or the root of this whole thing, like it was promised though, 2020, you'll be in this whole thing will be in a very low, dark, you know, place. The shit can be gutter, right? So, a telltale sign of the fall of America, like Elijah Muhammad had predicted it, alongside a few other prophetic works of literary genius. Here we have Cardi B interviewing Joe Biden saying, I feel like black people, we're not asking for sympathy. We're not asking for charity. We're just asking for equality. It's simple. We want to feel like Americans, right? So let's unpack that. We want to feel like Americans. We're asking for equality. This is coming from the woman who's going to lead the quote unquote the sexual revolution, about women saying that they receiving empowerment from her and that sex workers are sacred, and everything about the WAP thing, about getting Trey Songed and Harvey Weinstein did, because he was into shit like that. He was doing defecation rituals and a few other things, and he was on his 50 Shades of Grey, because that's what they saying. They want their 50 Shades of Grey. They want to get dominated. They want to get whipped and whatnot. They want to get choked out. They want to get duffed out, some of them. And they want to get paid for some of their acts. And they're like, we're not adding politics into it. If you paying, we buying. And she's saying, look, just give me a seat at the table. I just want to be down. What did I say before? Didn't I say that? And when you study the Battle of Algiers, when you study Franz Fanon, he was saying that you could never trust the prostitutes and the sex workers and the pimps. They would get rid of them in the revolution because those people are for sale. They're not loyal to anything. You can't trust them. So if somebody is like, yo, I just want to be equal and we're just asking for equality. So she's telling black women, don't worry about anything that's on the other side. Don't worry about who these people are. Don't worry about the fact that these people eat people and they into some shit that we're not into. And biologically, we're not the same. And we don't want equality. You know what I'm talking about? There's no equality. Like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. So equality means I just want a seat at the table. We want to feel like Americans. France Fanon. Now we want to be we want to feel like Americans. Oh, let them feel like Americans, yo. Give them a vice president, man. Give them whatever they asking for. They the booty of war. Let them sit with us. We got a seat for them, y'all. Give them a seat. Fuck it. Give them a seat. They just want to. They said that they want to do anything to be equal with us. We know what that means. They choosing, right? They choosing. She ain't say, look, fuck your table. We bringing our own. Forget your seat. We got our own seat. We not sit. You can't sit with us, right? You know what I'm talking about? That's what my type of female rapper would have said. She would have been like, look, ho Biden, slow Biden. We're not aligning ourselves with you or your party because y'all wild suspect. And we got receipts that y'all really about everything, that's detrimental to society. But like I said, somebody that might be compromised because they've been through the underworld and they've been demoralized and they've been debased already, it's not too much left. It's not your people are looking for sympathy and why she look, it's not too much left. A nigga done broke the seal. There's no turning back after certain type of trauma and being through certain type of things. So you just see life a totally different kind of way. And there's a price for everything. You know? There's a price for everything. So she's saying we just want to be equal. Just don't kill us. Don't kill us. Don't hurt us. We got the wet ass pee. We got the wettest pee. Don't do us dirty. We want to be your equal. You know what I'm talking about? We don't know about everybody else though. We just want to be your equal, right? We want to feel like an American. Let us in. And the white man like, yo, just let him in. So I would even want Meg the Stallion to be talking to Joe Biden before Cardi B. You know? So that's just to show you the agenda that these the small hats that run Hollywood are in bed with the record labels. Everybody is together. Yeah, look at this. Yeah, pills is gonna come. Yeah, cartoon time. You know what I'm talking about? That time has come. The time has come. Tell your little ones. You know, tell your little ones that's in front of the PlayStation and the Sony. They begging you for the new PlayStation. Tell them that the pills is coming to the video game, bro. Right? We'll be there in a minute. We're gonna meet them where they at. No need to clown them. You know. Let's touch on something. Oh yeah, the show tonight is sponsored by the Warren Team Report. I'm gonna take y'all over there in a minute. We got a new site up, augmented reality. Check out Joe Biden's new song. Wait, I can't hear it. I can't hear it. What are you talking about? I need y'all to hear the song. Y'all can't hear it? Hold on, let me see something. That's crazy. Can y'all hear that? Mm, that's weird. Okay. Yeah, that's weird. I wonder why that is. Okay. I wonder what it is. All right, but let me show you something. So yeah, I had put this picture up, and it's getting a lot of engagement, right? Which is good. I love engagement. You know, one of the things about social media that I love to do is I love to engage my audience so we can have these conversations. And sometimes I throw a rock and you know, and let it ripple, right? You invested in 400 in crypto in May and you sitting at 900. Yeah, the crypto is going crazy. My Coinbase account is bumping too. My shit is up, you know. So Meg the Stallion, right? For the people that listen to shit like this, she went live today and she basically said that this man right here, Tory Lanez, actually shot her and whatnot, right? She was saying that he shot her. And I put a post up and I said, why didn't no real niggas address this lane yet? Why industry cats are so quiet about homies shooting a black woman? During the COVID-19, Negroes celebrated this nigga's IG live as he had black women twerking and busting it wide open for the world to see. He was y'all hero, y'all new ratchet action figure. But him shooting Meg the Stallion turned into a meme. But no pressure, whatever, no smoke from the men in the industry. The gangsters were silent. Only the gays and the women who follow and ride for Meg were vocal, but it's arrested cops who shot Brianna, right? It's BLM and all of that other shit. So, of course, people are like, oh my goodness, what do you mean, brother? Uh, she didn't, she probably deserved it. right? But what people miss, and once again, what people don't read, I specifically ask, where are the real niggas and the rappers, right? Meaning that if you're not a rapper or a real nigga, I'm not talking to you. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about men in the industry, like Nas or Jay-Z, because she's signing his label. Like whoever has access to that woman who could get her on the phone and be like, yo, mom, what really happened? Oh, son shot you? Say word. Okay, say less. And then as men, check that nigga and be like, fam, that's not gonna fly. I don't care what she's rapping about. I don't think that that's gangster. Like, you're not just gonna be out there shooting no goddamn woman, bro. I don't think that that should not be condoned. So, what I was saying was, where are the men? Because in any other certain situation, people would be expecting son to get checked. So that was my question. Where are the rappers? Why wouldn't any rappers, step up and basically, put son in his place or even speak on it? Because they are so vocal about every fucking thing else. They always have something to say about something else, but they were eerily silent on that. And to be honest with you, they were more vocal about a video that she put out than her actually being shot in her foot. Bro, I had a TV fall on my toe. That's not a feeling that you'll ever want to have. I walked around with one of those foot braces for like 2 weeks. A foot injury is nothing to play with, bro. That's your nerve. That's where all of your nerves coalesce. So anything that disrupts that takes you completely off your equilibrium. So I'm just saying, bro. There's certain things should be sacred. You know, there's certain things that should be sacred. You know, and shooting a woman, shooting a sister, a lady, whatever you want to call it, because niggas is like that's a tranny and she's not really a woman. Um, I don't necessarily get that feeling. You know, I don't get that feeling. She got strong, very strong jawbone features, or she's from that area in Texas. You know, somebody said she was out in high heels. Riddle me that, bruh. You know what I mean? You can go ahead and question her choice in shoes and whatnot, and use that as that's not my job, bro. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, that's not my job. When the sister said that the brother shot her, I mean, you know, can you talk on the Cali fires from lightning strikes, not dry season, China floods, UK? Yeah, we're living in a very, 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 very interesting time, bro. You know, there was a complete attack, a lightning strike, like 10,000 lightning strikes in California, and the shit is burning it down, right? Burning it down, you know, burning it down, you know. So, you know, we're in some interesting times. That's why this work, this inner work, Um, this outer work, because it's not just it's outer and inner, you know, very important, very much needed. Most of the fires is in the mountains where the Caucasian people live. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. You know, um, these these lightning strikes, they're not random. Like this doesn't come. This is not something that's just a weather anomaly or something. You know what I mean? Like that. This is completely. That's all, and that's all Shango energy. That's all Shango. You know, the kind fun late some lit by lasers from the sky. Yeah, something is going on. You know, something is definitely going on because you know if that was affecting our people would know about it. It's not a lot of things that happen to our people, and our people is not going to go live or put the footage out there like, yo, there's lightning strikes in the jungle, in meaning the hood. There's lightning strikes on Clawson, on Slauson, I mean, in Crenshaw. You know, that's not our people. That's happening somewhere where our people are not necessarily domiciling. You know, so that could be the direct energy weapons, what they call dew, like Mountain Dew. Um, and then on top of that, on top of the lightning creating fires, there's also a fire tornado. You know what I'm talking about? Like there's floods, there's fire tornadoes, there's volcanoes erupting, there's earthquakes. So will say if one was a betting man or a betting woman, would it be too far fetched to say that there's going to be a major catastrophe before 2020 is over, just based off of everything that you're seeing in nature and how all of the alarms are ringing? There's earthquakes, there's floods, there are fire tornadoes. There was a tornado that ripped through Connecticut and it came out of nowhere. You know what I mean? There's heat waves. It's the hottest summer ever, right? There's icebergs that are melting. The locusts, they just released 3,000 uh, genetically engineered mosquitoes in Florida. 3,000 genetically engineered mosquitoes in Florida, right? You got volcanoes going off, shooting out ash and all of that stuff. Somebody said they never heard of a fire tornado. I didn't either. You got rain, hail, snow, and earthquakes. All of these, right? Exactly. Destroyed all of the corn and the soybeans, right? Oh, yeah. You know that the Amazon, look, the Amazon burned and then the Congo burned, the lungs of the planet. And then what happened after that? COVID-19, dealing with the lungs, dealing with the air, dealing with the breath. Spirituality is the breath, the spirit and the ritual, the spiritual, like the sister Vicky Dillard broke down on Brother Richard's show. Look, 750 million GMO mosquitoes. Thank you, Bashira. What is that about? What is that about? Go and look it up, y'all. Go and do your research. Go and follow it up and find out so you can share it with your family in Florida and people that are going to Florida. I got a Florida data in front of me, and I gotta really do the research on this before I step my ass in Florida. I need to do the research on this. So yes, the Amazon, the lungs of the earth, they burn up, and then we get a pandemic. We get an airborne, or we get a quote unquote a pandemic, and what people may call a pandemic, but we get a reaction to whereas people can't breathe. It's dealing with their lungs. It's dealing with their respiratory system. It's dealing with their lack of oxygen, right? The oxygen is leaving. The fishes are, yeah, the oxygen is leaving the water because the fishes are washing up. So what's that about? Hmm? There's die-offs. There was die-offs in Biscayne Bay, right? The oxygen is leaving the water. Somebody said it's off gonna work on the mosquitoes. Hell no. You need you need off and some damn Tito's vodka to go with it, right? So they did the Amazon and they did the Congo foul, and nature is definitely striking back. Nature got an answer for that. So the way that my mind is telling me and is showing me is just saying mentally prepare yourself if there was ever a quote unquote natural disaster on a large scale, because that's what this whole year is setting up for. You know, Dr. Valentine said a scorpion pandemic is coming next. Oh man, whoa. Hypoxia, when it's crazy hot, the algae overgrow and suck up the oxygen in the water. Well, yeah, I see that. And somebody said this, yes, that's the energy that they're putting into the universe. I can't breathe. Huh. Because water absorbs all of that, right? I can't breathe. Somebody say, get the fuck out of New York. I'm not in New York. I just came back from New York. But I got out of New York. I got out of New York, you know. I go back and forth, but I'm not in New York, you know. But that energy is registering because the fish can't breathe. They're dying off. So, and yeah. So in these dog days of summer, there's so many things that are taking place. But on the flip end of that, there's so many beautiful things that are evolving. So many things are manifesting. So many people are having breakthroughs. Their lives. Some people are having the best year of their life. So it's all about perspective, right? It's all about perspective. To the family for the Atlanta event, keep up with me. I'm gonna keep you updated as to what it is that is gonna be taking place on that weekend. I know for sure that we have the lecture on the 30th, but the performance on the 29th, we're not 100% sure about that because of some things that just came up. So we'll keep you informed on it. We're gonna keep you informed about the event coming up called Judas, right? It's called Judas and the Blackamoor Messiah, and it's going to be in the ATL on August 30th, part of a Black August series and whatnot that we've been doing. It's going to be fire. So we'll keep you updated to that. And there's so much to talk about in the realms of the Judas, right? In the realms of the conspirator, in the realms of the Brutus, you know what I mean, the backstabber, the quote unquote, you know, the saboteur, right? The co-conspirators. So we're gonna get into that. We're gonna mix it up. You know what I mean? People are giving me a lot of material. They're giving me a lot of material. I saw something very disturbing today. It was brought to my attention, and I went and did the research on it, and I heard my name thrown and mentioned, in the stew or in the pot of controversy, and it was dealing with the leader of Infact, right? The brother who calls himself Grandmaster Jay, and I'm looking for answers, because my name was brought up in an interview about something that this man, told his whole organization. And I don't even know this man. I never met him a day in my life. As a matter of fact, I spoke up in favor of this man, not even meeting this man. I spoke favorably about this man. So we're gonna have these conversations, because if anything is to if I mean it was said that the man brought my name up, and I don't even know the man. So if that's the case, then we may have ourselves a case of of correcting that has to take place, because you'll have to publicly apologize and correct yourself. You either be corrected or correct yourself, autocorrect, you know, and whatever. I don't know what's going on. I'm like I said, I need answers. So, you know, it's just a lot of interesting things taking place. These are the dog days of summer. A lot of it's a lot of dogs barking. It's a lot of dogs barking. It's a lot of a lot of that going on. You know, it's a lot of like I said, it's earthquakes taking place. There's hurricanes, fire, tornadoes, floods. Niggas, China's underwater. So nothing is surprising. Nothing at all is surprising. So, you know, you just have to continue to ascend. I'm here to let you know. You must continue to grow. You must continue to ascend. You must continue to utilize certain things for fuel to power your engine. You know what I'm talking about? As you in your Hellcat and you tearing down the highway, you know? So yeah. So we'll have more updates on things, But yeah, but that's probably gonna be about it, because as y'all do know, it's damn near 3 o'clock on my end where I'm at, and I got things that I need to deal with. Business, a lot of business, so much business. It's business on business on business on business. You know, somebody said I'm in the ATL. You could go to the Wadada store right there in the West End. It's called Wadada Health. You could Google it. They got some Kings County clothes in there. They got some Savvy Genesis. Some. This is AA Rashid right here. Shout out to the God. This is the AA Rashid Larry Davis Gun Club. You know what I'm talking about? That's the militia that I belong to. The Larry Davis Gun Club. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. 1-800 six shot. You know. Now you didn't miss the late night. Hit the rewind button. You know what I'm talking about? Just gotta hit the rewind button. But there's other things, but it's not that important right now. Let's see what's coming up. Like I said, Atlanta's coming up. The tickets are right here in the description, right? The tickets is right in the description. The Eventbrite is live stream, so you'll be able to see the live stream. Okay, so make sure y'all check it out. Be in the building. I want to show y'all the new website what I just launched. It's called the Warranty Report. All right, the Warranty Report, and it's AR, augmented reality. Okay, so if you have a phone that's AR compatible, you'll be able to beam, or you'll be able to, hold on, you'll be able to beam the AR out of your phone. You know what I'm talking about? It gets bigger too. I just don't know how to do it with the use command and scroll to zoom. There you go. As you can see, this is fire. So this is just a glimpse of what it is that we're doing with the technology, augmented reality, virtual, you know, different ways of learning that might not interest you, but will interest your child. So I'm gonna have about the whole series warranty report. We're like up to episode 12. I got 12 episodes already. So I'll have them all uploaded on here. Leave me your email. We got blogs and everything coming. Really what the warranty report is, it's just some intense reporting that I've been doing during the COVID-19, during the lockdown and whatnot. We just been following the information and highlighting it and showing you that this is a war report. This is a warrant. This is the warranty report. Did I cover the DNC? No, I did not. Not talking about the DNC. That's not, that ain't on my agenda right now. So I want y'all to sign up to that site. That site is called the warrant. It's called Warranty Report. Check that out. All right, the Warranty Report. All right, and that will have special guests, and we're gonna be having a lot of information, just dealing with a lot of things that are going on and building up that narrative. But yeah, that's what it is. I appreciate everyone. Shout out to all of my stream chasers. This show has been sponsored by Stream Chasers. All right. And I've been having a lot of people hit me up about promo and doing promotion and whatnot, and promoting their brands on the show. And I've been having people hit me up about vending at some future events. That's the email right there. You could give me your information on the email. I'm also looking for the videographers, the graphic designers, and the app developers that I've been calling out. I need you to send me your resume or your work or some samples of what you've done to the email. Make sure you can show some work because, you know, we all have aspirations. Uh, we all have aspirations. We all have aspirations to be something in life. So if you want to be a graphic designer and that's not what you do, I'm not necessarily speaking to you right now. I'm speaking to the people who have actualized what it is that they want to do and they're doing it. So if you have work, I'm looking for people with work history, like a real, like not that you just started doing it and I'm your first client or you want to do it. So you're going to, no, don't waste your time because I'm not going to respond. I'm only responding to people who could show me their works. because works without faith is dead. We're not doing no more homeboy work, no more that's my man's in them, that's my son. You know, we're not doing any of that. We're going for quality of membership, people who are actually walking the walk, talking the talk, and qualified. You know, so with that being said, I'll holla. Peace.